Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all well. It is the 1st of April and it's the beginning of a new month. And it is day 7, I believe, in South Africa of the lockdown. So I hope you're all well and you're really handling this. You're handling everything quite well. Anyway, I wanted to speak to you again about something that is always on my heart, and that is just that during this time, I know that a lot of people might be feeling, because you're spending a lot of time on your own, that it might be a little bit uncomfortable, not being able to see your friends, not be able to really go out and interact with people. And this might be a little bit uncomfortable for you. I was just reminded of a quote from the famous philosopher Socrates. I believe that's how you say it. And the quote says, "Know thyself." And I just think, for us as humans, we really do enjoy, interacting with other people and spending time with other people, and that can be a kind of coping mechanism, so that we are not always in our heads and we're not, just feeling alone. But I think it's also important that we learn to nurture ourselves, and also appreciate ourselves by basically spending time on our own. And the only way to do that is to be able to know thyself. And so, just for people that might be feeling a little bit restless during this time and feeling a little bit uncomfortable about being alone and being by yourselves, if you are on your own, and even if you may be surrounded with family members, or you aren't necessarily alone, but there are moments where you are going to have to, that you might be alone. And so, just to encourage you, that just to take this time and really do start to ask yourselves why does it feel uncomfortable, and also just to be gentle with yourself during this time. That even though it might feel uncomfortable because it is something that you are not used to, but also just to be aware of the feelings that are going on inside, and just to take it as it comes, and to look at this as a time for you to know yourself, to understand yourself a little bit more, and not to be so afraid of yourself and being afraid of getting to know this other side of you that has a little to do with other people, a little to do with what the world is doing, just to nurture yourself. So if I may just give you a few tips on what are some of the things that I do to basically to know myself. And I guess it's also a useful tool. They are useful tools for me, just to be more centered, to get connected with who I am, and to get connected to what's going on around me, get connected to what I'm thinking about and what I'm feeling. And just two things mainly, or maybe three. And that the first one is meditating. I find meditating to be very, very useful for me, to be able to take a couple of minutes, just to sit on my own, to take deep breaths, and to try and declutter, to try and stop the thinking. I know that it's not easy. It's not, and I don't think it's supposed to be, because of our bad habits and things that we're so used to. We're so used to thinking about the future and thinking about the past, and we have a lot going on in our minds. So meditating is one way that we can really just try to stop what's going on in our minds. And I tell you, it is really, really useful once we are able to quieten our minds. It really does help with health wise, and also just to enable you to process things in a deeper way. And there's many, many benefits to meditating. So do try it out. And then the second thing for me that works is journaling. I have so many journals. So I found that writing things down for me and writing what I'm feeling and what I'm going through, because I'm not quite a good communicator. So for me, writing things down helps me to really get in touch with what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling as well, to get it down on paper so that it's not always just stuck up here. So yeah, and so those are the two things that really, really work for me. And then also I also, I try to my best to practice awareness of the way that I'm feeling. And so yeah, those are very, very important things, and I think that you could also that you could benefit from during this time. And just to encourage you once again, not to see this lockdown as such a terrible thing, but really it is a time to live differently. It is a time to do things differently, to live our lives to the fullest, and to try different ways of living this life to our fullest, and to be gentle with ourselves, because it is a different time. It's an uncomfortable time, as I said before, because it's something that we are not used to. We're not used to it. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's just that we are not used to it. So now we have to adapt. And I think part of all of this thing, this adapting, is this wonderful opportunity for us to get connected with ourselves, to stop a little bit, to try and really stop a little bit, to love ourselves more, to appreciate life, and to really try and be expectant to basically live this life to the fullest, and so that we can be better humans. So there's just those two things, and I know there's plenty other things that you can do to try and get yourself centered and to know yourself more, because at the end of the day, what we give to others is ourselves, and what we give to life is ourselves. And what a wonderful thing to be able to know yourself well, so that you are giving to others and you're giving to this life the best. Anyway, hope you're well. I hope the next 17 days or 18 days that's left of the lockdown is good. See you soon. Bye.